Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Mind Over Money, a show where we talk about how meditation, yoga, and behavioral science can help you become a better and efficient trader, investor, as well as a better human being. Well, my name is Shatajanand, and today we have with us a very special guest, Aditya Agarwal, who's a managing director at Morningstar India. Now, Morningstar India is a US-based research house on mutual funds, and Aditya has been heading the India business for the past 14 years. Now, apart from handling the business, he's also passionate about wildlife photography. Now, we're going to talk more on that in this edition of Mind Over Money. Without further delay, let me call the man himself. Welcome to the show, Aditya.
Thank you. Thanks for this. Thanks for having me on the show.
Wildlife photography. I mean, wow. This is something, it is very interesting and at the same time adventurous. So let us know how it all started.
So, Shruti, actually, I've always been kind of in love with nature. I've always loved spending time in nature.
Right.
Born and brought up in Dehradun, I used to get a lot of time to kind of go for treks with my school friends, just wander around in the beautiful hills, valleys, the meadows in the region. There are quite a few streams in and around Dehradun. So kind of just spending time by them was always fun.
Right.
And even today, I love doing a lot of road trips and spending as much time as I can in nature. That's what really makes me calm. That's really kind of really helps me think through things and all. I've been going to the jungles for the last 12, 13 years now. And I can tell you that that experience has been absolutely enthralling and has completely changed my thought process. Being in the wild, like I said, is almost like meditation for me. Disconnected from the rest of the world, because most of the times you don't find internet in these jungles, leaving the routine of your hectic professional life behind. Nature really has a way of kind of helping realign your priorities, bringing back focus in your life, and kind of really think in those days while you are out, disconnected from the world, kind of think about what's next in a way. And again, like the experience in these jungles is like you spend time living in basic accommodation in the forest without internet, spending the entire day, whether that's scorching sun or whether that's like a chilling winter, but it still is an absolutely rejuvenating experience. So definitely love it.
Right. In fact, you talk about minimalism, and that's what, it brings a creativity inside you, because when you have very few things, and especially in a world where resources are not that much, and you have to, bring the best out of your team, bring the best out of yourself, I think it counts the most, and that's when the creativity kicks in. And we know that where the creativity is coming from. The Dehradun boy is at the helm of things at Morningstar India. Now, you've been heading Morningstar India business for the past 14 years. So how this passion of yours helped in financial planning and, guiding the team and these sort of activities?
Sure. See, at Morningstar, our mission is to empower investor success. And we put out a lot of research and data for investors to help them take informed decisions about their portfolios. And we always kind of talk about having a long-term focus, whether that's life, whether that's investing, whether that's anything else. And one of the most important things to be successful in investing is to have patience. Yes. And that's actually something that you can kind of very well relate to when you are in wildlife photography. Spending time in the market is so important. I see many investors wanting to make quick money, kind of trying to time the market. And in this whole process, they tend to have either subpar returns or sometimes even end up kind of eroding their capital. So you need to be like really focused on your goals, work with your financial advisor, decide your asset allocation, take on risks only which are commensurate to your appetite. Most of the times in the lure of money, like, oh, my friend is making this much, oh, someone got this return, like you tend to overinvest in stocks which obviously don't suit your appetite, and then you lose a lot of your money, and then grief comes in. So don't feel greedy or fearful about what's going on in the market. This lure to make short-term money by deviating from your asset allocation, that's really detrimental to your long-term goals. And maybe the aftermath in the markets immediately after COVID is a great example of this. See, many you would have seen this as well. Many
Absolutely.
investors stopped their
True.
SIPs and even withdrew money from the markets as if the world is kind of just coming to an end. And now looking back, you feel like that was the best time to invest in the market.
Right.
People who did that have really made money. So just keep invested irrespective of the short-term variations in the market. It's the same thing as in the wild. You just go spend time in the jungles, absorb nature, and you will be rewarded.
No, absolutely golden words there from you, Aditya. In fact, I can relate to it because I also enjoy doing wildlife photography.
That's
And,
great.
as you pointed out, that you have to have patience. And yes, when you are there with your camera and you want to get that perfect shot, you just have to wait for either, some bird to come in or just put the neck out and you just want to click that particular moment. And it definitely correlates with the investing mechanism as well. Now, yes, wildlife photography is, yes, it's a great stress buster, and at the same time connects with the nature. I think when it comes to fast-paced spaces like markets or mutual funds, for that matter, it helps us understand one thing is to slow down, as you rightly pointed out. So let nature take its course. What are your views on that as well?
Yeah, I can't agree with you more on this, Kshitij. I think there are two key things here: patience and focus. Your desired output, I don't think you can achieve overnight. Like, it takes patience, perseverance. Like, you need to invest a lot of your time on that. At times, like you rightly said, sometimes you have to wait for several hours to kind of get that one shot. And it's very similar to like a equity or mutual fund investing.
Sure.
Like, you can't be hitting the bullseye every time you kind of want to invest. You need to be invested.
Getting
like
multi-bagger return from every stock or mutual fund, that's not possible, right?
Absolutely. So those are like wrong expectations sometimes that people kind of go into while investing into equities or mutual funds. So just keep invested, look for long-term returns, and don't let the short-term disruptions deter you from investing. I think that's the key.
Couldn't agree more on that, Aditya. So tell us something about your journey in financial space as well.
Sure. As I mentioned, I was kind of born in Dehradun, did my some primary education in Kolkata before moving back again to Dehradun.
Okay.
I was fortunate to be exposed to the financial markets much before most people of my age. And actually, I began kind of managing my mother's money when I was still very young, like just maybe out of school. And I used to visit our local sub-broker in that in the city to invest my mother's money in company fixed deposits, which provided obviously better returns than bank deposits. So that kind of really gave me access to this whole world of the capital markets in a way. Spending time with the investment consultant turned out to be really beneficial as I got to understand the nuances of stock markets, investing, different asset classes, different products. So it was a great experience. And I think that's where this whole interest in financial markets, capital markets kind of really started. And now that I had spent time, so I was pretty clear in terms of my career options that it has to be something to do with the financial world only. I worked with a couple of leading financial services companies in Delhi to start with before I ventured out to start on my own.
Right.
And we started a website called mutualfundsindia.com way back in 1999. This was one of the first portals in India to be dedicated to mutual funds. And it was a kind of an instant hit from day one. Like, people loved the content, the data that we generated, what was put out. It was rated among the best 150 websites in the world by Forbes, and there were just 4 Indian sites in that list. So obviously, like, it was all like what you want, you're getting that. And then in 2008, I joined Morningstar, again, a company that I have always admired for its mission of helping investors make the right decisions, as the first employee in India. And today we are 4,000 people in India and still growing. So the journey has been pretty good so far. Yeah.
Right now, wishing you all the very best
Yeah,
for the
thank
journey
you.
ahead. And what would you advise investors who wants to pursue photography? After probably watching the interview, they want to also venture out in wildlife photography. So, what would be your advice on that?
See, I am still kind of an amateur as far as wildlife photography is concerned. That's one of my passion. That's what I love doing. But I can't be giving out tips in terms of what to do as far as
No, no,
photography is
we'll try and put some pictures of yours in the video. Don't
concerned.
worry.
So one of the things that I've always believed and advised others is to find ways to work with nature
True.
and not really pit yourself against it. See, in this rapid era of urbanization, we need to protect our forests, our biodiversity, and do everything that we can to protect the environment. And see, that's something that is a responsibility of each of us as individuals. Like we can't be saying, okay, this is the government job or this is something that someone else needs to do. So that's something that we need to do as an investor and as a wildlife photographer. You need to stay focused, like we've been kind of talking about that, and be patient. Whether that's like waiting to kind of photograph a tiger or to gain from stock markets investments. Only
Great.
thing I will say is like don't get distracted by the imagined opportunities that you might be missing, and try and live in the moment instead. And of course, have a positive attitude in life.
No, no, absolutely. Living in the moment and a positive attitude. I think that is what is required for an individual, not just to make money, but definitely be connected with nature. Well, on that note, thank you so much for your time, Aditya. And that's all for now. But do stay log on to etmarkets.com for more on news, business, and economy. Again, thank you so much for your time, Aditya.
Thanks, Shitesh. Thanks for having me.